Hello students, stay home, stay safe. Class 7th, this is your geography class and we will be starting the next part, the second part of the atmosphere. Hello students, today we will be discussing the next part. First of all, we will be starting with the ozone layer. Ozone layer is present in stratosphere. We have discussed about the troposphere. Then comes your second layer of the atmosphere, that is your stratosphere. So this is present within the stratosphere. The reason why it is known as ozone layer is that it has the high concentration of a gas which is called ozone. Ozone is very important for our life. Without ozone layer, the life would have been very worst. Okay, it would have not been possible on the earth. Next is that it absorbs the ultraviolet radiations. You know that ultraviolet radiations are very harmful for us. They can damage our eyes as well as skin. It can even lead to cancer also. Okay, next is your ozone hole. Ozone hole is the part of the stratosphere or the region of the stratosphere where the ozone layer is very thin. Okay, it is very thin in that particular part, and that is known as ozone hole because the protective layer is decreasing. Okay, it is decreasing. It is the concentration, you can say, it is getting less of ozone, and it is located over the Antarctic part of the earth. Okay, next is it was first noticed in 2006, but it has started very earlier. Okay, but when we noticed it, it was quite late, but now it has been observed that the stabilization of ozone hole is being observed. Next, we will be discussing about the ozone depletion. Basically, you will be very much aware of the word chlorofluorocarbons, and the sources of chlorofluorocarbons are air conditioners, your ACs, refrigerators, aerosols, aeroplanes. All these things, they emit a compound chlorofluorocarbons in the atmosphere, and it is very harmful for the ozone layer. As the CFC in this layer, stratosphere, it reacts with the UV rays, the ultraviolet rays coming from the sun. These rays break down these chlorofluorocarbons into the chlorine ions. Okay, chlorine atoms, you can say, free chlorine atoms. These free chlorine atoms are basically the one thing which is responsible for the destruction of the ozone molecules, and it is very harmful as the extent is very much. One chlorine atom can destroy about, you can say, 1 lakh of these ozone molecules. So you can yourself estimate the extent, how much cause, how much chlorine is causing destruction to ozone molecules, and the extent to which it is causing the destruction. Next, we will be discussing the third layer of the atmosphere, that is your mesosphere. It starts from the stratopause and extends up to 85 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Like troposphere, in this layer, a thing is common, that is the temperature. Here in this layer, when the altitude increases, the altitude it increases and the temperature falls. The same was not there in stratosphere. This thing was observed in troposphere. We have discussed it earlier also. The normal temperature, the normal lapse rate we discussed in that particular layer, the troposphere, and this is mesosphere. In this part, like troposphere, the temperature of this layer falls with the increase in the altitude, and even it can reach to as low as minus 120 degrees Celsius. This is very low temperature, so ice clouds form there. The frozen water vapor is there. In this layer it is found. And next we will be discussing about the meteoroids. Okay, these burn up in this layer. If they will not burn, the meteoroids will crash with the earth surface. Okay, they will crash with the earth. And there was a point that when the dinosaurs and their generation came to the end, that was a hit of this only. Okay, the meteors and the shooting stars, as they are called shooting stars because a tail like structure appears. Okay, and they appear to us like flash of lights, bright flashes of lights. Tuta tara is also a word. Sometimes we have heard this word very commonly. So this is the layer in which these meteoroids burn up. Okay, the spelling you can see the difference: meteoroids and meteorites, those which crash with Earth. This layer conducts electricity and reflects the radio waves. This is the main point of this layer. The boundary between the mesosphere and the thermosphere is known as mesopause, as we have discussed about the stratopause, tropopause. Similarly, there is mesopause, and the next layer starts, that is your thermosphere. uh, Thermo is related to the temperature you can talk about, and the temperature in this layer increases. This is a thing you can keep in your mind, that thermo is related to the temperature, so the temperature will rise in this. Okay, mesopause, from the mesopause it extends to 690 kilometers above, and it is having the lighter gases like hydrogen and helium in this layer. The temperature, again, this I have told you that it rises, but it can go as high as to 1500 degrees Celsius. The reason behind this is that it absorbs the large amount of solar radiations coming from the sun. It is very close to the sun. I can't say very close to the sun, but as per the layers are discussed, it is away from the earth's surface, but on the other hand it is on the closer side of the sun. Okay, outer side, it is on the outer side of the earth, so it is towards the sun, so this absorbs a large amount of solar radiations. The boundary between the thermosphere and the exosphere is your last layer. It is known as thermopause, and the international space station is present in this particular layer, the thermosphere. It is present in this layer, and it is a habitable satellite. Okay, it is situated in this layer. Next we will be talking about the last layer of the atmosphere, that is your exosphere. It is the outermost layer, as it is the last layer, and it consists mainly of the hydrogen, and then the outer reaches of the this layer, but this particular layer, exosphere, it merges with the interplanetary space. Like the thing fades off. Okay, it decreases. Similarly, the density also decreases, and at the last it merges with the interplanetary space. Next is your ionosphere. Basically, it is not the separate layer, it is the electrically charged air. Is this particular ionosphere is basically the zone in which the charged air is present, and this is present in the upper atmosphere. And both the layers, the mesosphere as well as the exosphere, it starts from the mesosphere, top half of this mesosphere. Like, these are the different layers. This is the mesosphere. If this is the mesosphere, this one is the mesosphere. In the middle you can draw a line, and from the upper part it starts and extends to the lower part of the exosphere. This is the particular area of ionosphere. Why is it called ionosphere? The reason is the molecules of air are broken up. Okay, in this part they are broken up into the tiny charged particles, and the charged particles, you know, they are known as ions. You must have done this in science. As a result, this particular zone, the ionosphere, conducts the electricity. One point is this, and the other point is it reflects the radio waves. Both the things are very important to us. Okay, it plays an important role in the radio transmission. As you know, the signals are transmitted, the satellite signals, all these things. This is very helpful in such things. Auroras, um, a special phenomena, you can say, the natural display of the colored lights. Like, you can see the disco lights. Similarly, it is like that only, but the part is, and the point is, that it is a natural display. Okay, no one is there in sitting in the sky and making the lights shine in this way. It is the natural phenomena, and the colored lights appear. It occurs in the part of the ionosphere that falls in thermosphere. It is very, very important, as it is the part of ionosphere only, but The particular part is, the layer is thermosphere, in which the temperature is high. Okay, now we will be discussing the phenomena of aurora. Okay, the ions of the ionosphere, the part in which the thermosphere is there, that particular part of ionosphere, the ions collide with the charged particles of the sun. Sun also emits the charged particles. Both the charged particles collide with each other, and they create a stream of colored lights. Okay, at the high latitudes. It is seen in the northern and the southern part, and both the names are different. Okay, basically the color range, you can see that the color range is from it can vary from green, blue, violet, these colors, to red, yellow, orange, white, all these colors. Again, the same colors, mostly these colors are in the web gear also. Okay, next is your aurora, is named after a Roman goddess of dawn. uh, Next, the northern hemisphere. In this part, basically, we called aurora as aurora borealis. Okay, borealis. In the southern part, the southern hemisphere, it is known as aurora australis. Both these are very important. These words, these terms are very important, and in geography you have to be aware of such kind of terms, as these are different, and you should know all these terms as you are a student of geography. Okay. uh, Next part we will be discussing in the next video. Hope this part is clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. You can mention in the comment section also if you are having any kind of doubt. The notes will be given to you, and the worksheet will also be provided. So thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe. We will be discussing the worksheets. All the three worksheets will be there. All the three will be discussed in the fourth lecture. Okay.